Hi there, that's right, Nate Lush back on the camera yet again, decked out as usual in my traditional occult Nike gear, proving of course that I'm an alien reptilian Freemason who's planning on depopulating the planet and taking over the entire known universe, using my telepathic rays coming straight out of the moon and going through mass media sort of brainwashing and trying to control you. Just for all you little New World Order conspiracy theorists out there, I just thought I'd give you that little moment of paranoia. Ooh, Illuminati sign, ooh. Anyway, I just felt like I was talking about spiritualism today, just basically because of the hell of it, because I like it. You know, I think it's one of those things which is incredible, because you get these moments occasionally which can really freak you out. And you get these moments which can make you want to ask more questions, alright, but precisely what does it all mean? I mean, what was to happen if a ghost was to appear in front of you, or a spirit was to appear in front of you? Would that mean to say that spirits exist? Obviously no, it's just an experience, we just have to accept that. Of course, when I think back to my earliest experience at the age 4, when I saw what can only be described in cultural language as seeing a ghost, alright, typical lady in, I think it was Victorian dress, sort of appeared and walked along, well, glided along, basically I couldn't see her feet, Victorian dress with a bustle, all the rest of that, all in white, see-through. I could see my Mr. Men wallpaper behind her, that kind of see-through, and then she just vanished. I didn't know what ghosts were at that time. I told my mother what I saw, and she says, well, maybe it was a ghost. And I said, what's a ghost? Because I didn't know what the word was. That's probably the most staggering expression or personal experience for myself, which makes me think that there is some other form in which humans could have consciousness apart from just within brain and body. It's not just a question of your neural network inside your skull. It's a question of many more factors and all the rest of that. But extrapolating too far is just basically a bit daft. And I'm sure I've told you this story before. This guy who tried to contact a spirit which he decided to invent, and this spirit was called Coin because it had a schizophrenic two-sided personality, a bit of a chaotic mad spirit entity. That's the idea. And there was somebody else who was Chinese who had a very similar character to the kind of spirit servicer that he was dealing with his mediumistic experiments. But this was called Quan. So it's a bit difficult to say, whether these things are being created by you, or whether these things allow you to think that you're the ones creating them. That's where the possible duality could be. There's always more questions to be asked, and there's no hard and fast answers. But because there's this media culture of people who say there are hard and fast answers, that's a problem. Alright, that's why people, send me peculiar emails saying, I'm going to do this peculiar thing, I know, sacrificing chickens and goats and summoning the devil, and is it going to work? Well, firstly you would have to jump to a massive conclusion that the devil actually exists. I personally don't care if the devil actually exists. I don't see the point in worrying whether the devil actually exists. Secondly, precisely how would you classify it working? Alright? Crowley called this unempirical. How would you classify it as working? Can you use the phrase it works when applied to something unempirical? And essentially, what kind of goals would you get from, sacrificing your chickens and your goats, or drawing your ritual circles and whatever? Precisely what? You're going to get some guy with horns appearing in the circle saying, hi there, I will be your demon for today. It is, of course, my job to drag you to the sulphurous pits of hell, but for the moment I'm going to give you all the riches of the world, just so that you can have a wild fling prior to ending up being tortured in the flames of hellfire and damnation for all eternity. You tell me. You know, people out there, maybe you guys do know more about this stuff than me. Somehow, I doubt it. The way that we think about these things is essential. Because I know, you know, I'm an experimental occultist. People think I'm pretty crazy anyway, slightly loopy and all the rest of it. But I don't want to appear that, you know, quite that loopy. In terms of, like, not understanding the meanings of words that I'm using. Not understanding the intentions I'm trying to communicate. And so on and so forth. So if you were to sit down with your friends, and you were doing a Ouija seance, and let's say a hypothetical spirit communicated through the board, of course you wouldn't know whether it's a real spirit or not, would you? All you'd know is that the planchette was moving. Alright, but let's just say hypothetically, that you get a message coming out. And the message says, my name is Elizabeth, and I died 20 years ago. Would you be able to say there really was a person called Elizabeth who died 20 years ago who was communicating to you then? Answers below.